Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back. I know you just saw me a few hours ago, but we wanted to bring you the latest on Hurricane Sally, on what we expect from that hurricane, and give you a look of what is happening down in South Alabama throughout the afternoon. So my name is Ivana, if you are new to our Facebook page, and today I am joined by our own editorial cartoonist, JD Crow. So I think this is JD's debut here on our Facebook videos, but he has graciously agreed to go out to the Fairhope Pier right off of Mobile Bay here and give us a look about what the weather is doing there. So, JD, thanks for braving the weather for us. And
I'm all about bravery, you know.
I know it, JD. Well, tell us what you're seeing out there.
Well, just another beautiful day in Fairhope for the most part. It's a little bit blustery. The water's a little choppier. We're getting a few little whitecaps out here, smallish. This is a very low key hurricane, and it's just warming up. I'm sure it's a very slow moving gal. But it hasn't. The water level hasn't really risen very much today. It's going to over time. It's been really tough on a few of the animals. I tried to rescue a bird earlier. There's a heron that got caught in a tree, kind of a young heron, up here at another one of the piers up at Orange Avenue. And, it was hanging upside down almost all day. I don't think it made it. So Sally has claimed one victim here in Fairhope.
Well, everybody here knows that I'm an animal lover. I hate to hear that, but it looks, JD, like there are still people coming out to kind of sightsee at the pier. I saw a couple of people behind you.
Yeah, there are a lot of people. They've been streaming in and out most of the day. I've been coming down here a little bit myself. A lot of, everybody seems to think it's really safe to come out right now, so they're taking advantage of being able to walk around in a hurricane. So right now it's just, every now and then we get a big gust of wind, and whoa, that one about took me down. I'm sorry.
Be careful, JD.
That was actually a fake breeze. I'm sorry. But no, there's people coming out here. It's just everybody's off doing whatever they normally wouldn't be doing, which is quarantining, I guess. But now they're out here walking around the pier. It's fairly pleasant. It goes from being a little blustery and more of a hard rain to kind of a drizzle right now.
Right. Well, and let's point out, so you're at a part of Fairhope Pier here. You're not at the same pier where our John Sharp was earlier, where that water was getting a little bit rough. And we saw people that were driving up and kind of taking selfies and taking pictures of the water and things like that.
John was over here by the fountain. We're at the same pier. I'm just when you come down to Fairhope Pier, to the left is a park, and I'm in the park. John was over here by this fountain over here today. So it's a pretty large, beautiful park down here. So there's a lot to it.
Now, JD, let me get you to give us a view of the water here. And I'm going to quickly give everybody an update of, if you didn't hear what the governor said earlier, there was perfect. That's great, JD. We want to see what that water looks like. I'm going to mute his mic here for 2 seconds because I know that wind is pretty loud. But we got a couple people asking about that weather forecast. Now, according to John DeBlock from the National Weather Service, this was updated, this was announced about 10 a.m. Right now, Hurricane Sally's moving about 2 to 3 miles per hour, which is very slow through that water. Now, when it hits, there is expected to be record flooding in the Gulf Coast area, between 10 and 15 inches of rain, plus the storm surge. Now, as that storm moves up on Wednesday night through Montgomery and into that moving up 65, we expect to see 8 to 10 inches of rain in Montgomery and even river flooding from the Alabama and Tallapoosa rivers. Now, Friday morning, John DeBlock from National Weather Service said that storm from the hurricane is expected to move up of 85 and into Georgia. So I got some people asking, about Birmingham and places north of Birmingham. Looks like we're going to get some rain right now, and that's kind of the best that we have. Now, we are going to have a weather update about between 4 and 4:30 here. I'm going to get our meteorologist, Lee Morgan, to come back, give us an update on the weather forecast. She's a meteorologist and can speak better to that. But JD, he lives here in Fairhope. He lives not far from this pier. JD, tell me what the water normally looks like versus what it's looking like right now.
Well, it would be a lot calmer, just because we're getting rain. But normally it's very calm. When Hurricane Michael came through, the water turned almost black, and it was really churning. So we're not quite there yet with Sally. But when a major hurricane comes through, everything changes down here. The color of the water, it's just churning. And I'm sure we're going to get some of that eventually. But Sally, right now there's some so we're going to see some little white caps out there. Not too many yet. Once it heats up, Sally's going to come right up here. It's just going to be right for this pier. A few years ago, Fairhope was in the alley.
That wind is drowning you out a little bit, JD. I know it's strong out there. We can see the water pooling up on your glasses. I know if you couldn't hear JD, he was saying that there's some white caps out there in the water. And again, it's in Fairhope off of Mobile Bay is where this water is. Now, I'm looking through some of these comments. Everybody's sending their well wishes and prayers. And there are some people who say they're riding it out. We've got Wade saying he's riding it out on the West Beach and Gulf Shores. It's getting rough over there. JD, how many people have you seen evacuating in your area, or do you think most people are just going to ride out this storm?
I think most people rode this out unless flooding is not an issue. So unless you
JD, I'm going to go, JD, that wind's pretty bad. I'm going to get you to walk back kind of to your car so we can hear you a little bit better. And then we can get a little bit more of what you're saying. While JD is en route back to somewhere that was not as windy, let me go over a little bit. Governor Kay Ivey said that everybody in low-lying areas has got to evacuate and has got to get to higher ground. And she encouraged everybody to do that now before that hurricane makes landfall. She said, again, we're looking at record flooding and record flood waters. She said that most Alabama counties will be impacted by this. We're expecting heavy rains, flash floods, and she said to even expect tornadoes across the state. We know that often comes with hurricane weather. JD, I think we can hear you a little better now. So tell us about evacuations, what you have seen and what you've experienced.
Well, in the years past, if you're in danger of flooding, then you evacuate. I think in this case, it's a good idea to evacuate if you're near the water. We're near the water, but we're up on a hill, so we're not in a flood zone. So we've never evacuated one of these. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I think you should. People that live here make those decisions pretty wisely. They take these things pretty seriously. This one, I don't know how many people evacuated. I think most of the people who do evacuate kind of make that as a last minute decision. And I think they kind of felt this one's probably going to be okay.
Yeah, I know. We've got people. Yeah, the audio is his audio in the wind. You can tell how that wind is ripping. I think Kathleen said about my audio, that was user error. Muted my mic here so you couldn't hear the dogs barking. So that was totally on me. JD is in the elements and is being affected by that. Now, JD, we've got somebody asking, and you might not know the answer, but we have Rachel asking about the bridges going into Mobile and going down to those beaches. Do you know if those roadways are still open?
I don't know about the ones going down to the beaches. The only ones I've heard about is over to the causeway is closed, in Mobile. And But going down to the beaches, I think you're probably still okay. I haven't heard that they're closed.
Okay, but the causeway is closed.
The causeway's closed because it floods, and I'm sure there's some areas in downtown Mobile that are getting quite a bit of water right now.
Can you, JD, can you tell those of us who don't live in South Alabama what the causeway is and where that connects?
Yeah, the causeway connects. It connects the eastern shore to Mobile, and it's a brackish waterway on the delta, and it's an alternative route from the big bridge, the Bay Bridge.
Okay, got it. Alternative route to the Bay Bridge. Now, I'm going to bring you this live radar here from the National Weather Service Mobile. You can see that hurricane. I don't know if you can see on your end, JD, but that hurricane, the radar, is moving up. You can see that green is all kind of affecting Baldwin and Mobile counties right now, and that it is spinning that way. Now it's still moving very slowly. JD, have you seen a change in the weather from when you got up this morning? I know you get up early to right now.
Yeah. I got up and took a drive this morning just to check it out, and it's like I said, it's slowly changing. It's not a dramatic. She's not a drama queen so far, but Sally's intent on staying with us for a while. So it's changing gradually, and I can see a difference now than as opposed to this morning. But normally, a few years ago, a hurricane took out this pier. So we're not quite there yet. But I think I think she's in it for the long haul. I think Sally's going to be with us for a few days and going to cause some major flooding.
So JD, you said that a hurricane before, took out this pier that you were standing on a minute ago that you were showing us, but you live nearby and you don't have any flood problems, you said. So what's the deal there? How is there water that is destroying piers, but then you happen to live pretty close, but you don't have an issue?
Well, let me see if I can show you. When you drive down to the pier, you drive down kind of a hill. There's a bluff. It's called the bluff, and I'll try to show it to you. You see the cars coming down the hill. So so the water rarely gets into this parking lot. Sometimes it does, but if it gets up over that hill, it'll be a tsunami. I don't the hill.
So there's a bluff that kind of stops that flooding right there.
Yeah. It's a natural bluff, and let's see if we can get a picture of it over here. It's covered in kudzu, and it's famously covered in kudzu, and I think it kind of helps keep it from eroding. And let's see, walk over here. Now, if you can see those steps that go up the bluff in the kudzu.
Yes, we do.
So that's a natural bluff, and it's kept Fairhope from having.
I think we lost JD for a second. I will wait and see if we can get him back here. You could hear that wind was ripping, so not sure if that affected his signal there. We've got somebody, Ginga, saying that their family pier in Lillian is gone. So sorry to hear that, Ginga. I hope everybody in your family is safe. The boathouse is still standing for now, she says. So fingers crossed that stays standing. Now, I know Amanda says it about talking about curfew and about non-residents to leave. The governor did encourage non-residents to leave. She says that the roads going into the beach are flooded. Now, we got JD back here. So we saw that bluff that keeps those floodwaters or normally keeps those floodwaters contained.
Yeah.
Now, if that wind is bad, experiencing it as it sounds to us?
No, it's not too bad. There's a big gust that comes through every now and then, and you can't hear. And of course, that doesn't affect me. I can't half hear anyway. So
you're in your element, really.
Yeah, I'm pretty much at home down here. It's a good place for me.
We've got Leanne saying Bankhead Tunnel is closed, but you see, JD, you could see that there are people still out on this in this area on this pier. I don't know if you just saw those people behind JD. How many people are you seeing out there?
Well, there's several cars here. There's probably, I don't know, there's probably 20 cars in the parking lot, and everybody's got 2 or 3 people in there. There's some kids out walking around and just having fun in the rain.
We've got a question about Andalusia, Covington County. So this is what I can tell you. Kimberly, you tune in about 4:30 in about an hour, so I can get my meteorologist to address it a little bit better. But right now it's looking like Andalusia, Covington County. That area is, I believe, in not that 10 to 15 inches of rain, that one below, around that 8 inches of rain kind of sector. Now, again, that could have changed since this morning. Lee Morgan, our meteorologist, will be here in about an hour to address those questions. We're going to start a new video in about an hour, and you can ask her that there, and you can get an updated idea from her. But as of last update, we were not in that top sector, but in that one lower tier, if that makes sense. So, JD, we know you live in Fairhope. Are you planning to leave? I don't know if you can hear me, JD.
Okay, I didn't hear you. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said, I know that you and your family are in Fairhope. Are you planning to leave Fairhope?
No. No, we're here. You talking about through the hurricane?
I am.
No, we're not evacuating or anything. We're here. I got to work.
That's true. That's true. We're keeping him safe. I promise y'all. Well, Jake, awesome. And JD, thank you so much for braving this weather for us. I cannot promise that we won't put you back out there, but we promise that we will keep him safe. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Catch us in about an hour with meteorologist Lee Morgan, and we will see you then.